Konnichiwa, minasan. It is Monday, July 14th, 2014, at approximately 5:29 a.m. Ooh, it's getting late for me. um, we're doing another edition of Pillow Talk today, and I'm doing this blog to kind of lend an example. Sometimes that if you throw something out there, you have a story to say. This is almost like my moment of truth to say something about what's going on in my life with regards to people or with regards to relationships or girls or somebody that I met that I really like. And I think by offering that example, people can kind of learn for that and they can find out that maybe people aren't all that different. I mean, I am part of the trans community, which is a certain small sect of people in the world. We're actually greater than you would think, but it's not very prominent and people aren't always very public and all that. But relationships can be a very difficult thing. It's not always given, and people have issues, and it's sometimes hard for them to find the right person. And I'm not saying that it's easy or it's given, and I'm not saying it's impossible. So it's that type of thing. So this is why I kind of like to do pillow talk and all that. I got to the point this past weekend where I've had a certain number of experiences, some meeting some very, very nice ladies, very smart, very intelligent women, very dateable, I would consider, because my standards I would consider to be very high. And I'm not usually attracted to all types of women. There's a certain type that I actually would like, but I've been coming across women who actually don't fit into that type, but they're smart and they're intelligent and they have something to say. So I was very, very impressed by that. I had to go and pay my phone bill so I get service back on my phone. I actually paid it late. So I went to the Metro PCS in Lowell at a particular location out there, and I met a girl, and she was just absolutely beautiful. I mean, she was the type where you actually meet right offhand. You don't have something to say, and there's already something in common. There's already a connection. There's already chemistry. She was a girl who was very close to my genetic makeup. I mean, she's Caucasian, all right, and that's not usually the type that I go after. But she was Caucasian. She was a tall, slender woman. Um, she had some shape and form to her, but very slender and delicate in form. Probably right about my height. She could have been a little shorter. Her hair type was the same hair type as mine, just blonde and curly and wavy to some degree. And I just, I paid my bill and I had to ask her the question, what she does with her hair. Does she go to a salon? Which is a salon does she go to? Because I'm looking at a better way to manage my hair. And the conversation just flowed and flowed and flowed. And it's like she may have had a sense of what I am or there's something going on, but it didn't become like a primary obsession. And I think in some ways it's that I'm comfortable with myself. All right. So when I asked her about her hair, it's not something that I actually thought in my mind to say, should I ask a woman about that? I just see an example in front of me and I said, this girl's hot, pretty much hot, and she's very attractive and she's this beautiful full head of hair, is nice and thick and there's just lots of body and just going down and it's just long. It's a beautiful mane of hair and I was just dying. I had to ask her. I've taken it upon myself these days to, I made a resolution this year that if I'm going to compliment a woman or I'm going to say something to a woman, then I must go forth and be confident. And this is just one of those things that I wanted to do, but I was just dying to find out. The other thing too is like if you go and you take a chance to talk to somebody, you never know what's gonna happen. So that's kind of what I did. But one thing led to another, and I was like, oh my god, this one's amazing. The conversation went forth, and she did let me know she had a boyfriend. I was like, yeah, well, yeah, well, that's good. And we were talking more about that, And I said, you'd be the type of girl to get a lot of attention at the clubs. A lot of guys would like you. And he says, yeah, I know, I'd go, but my boyfriend limits, what I do, and he doesn't want me to go out very much. So, and then I told her, I said, well, I could see the reason why. If you see a picture like this, and I don't want to sound like a perv, but I've had a picture like on my door for a while. It's this, and it's when I bought some pantyhose over the camera in Billerica. I was just trying to get something, but if to kind of holster what I got down there without tucking it the way other people would. So it kind of, but this visual image here is like incredible. This girl had one of these, and my last woman had an incredible one of these too. It's the hindquarters of a woman, but I get to look at that and say, "Oh, damn, girl, you got that going on." And I've dated some very attractive women. My last one was Chinese. She didn't really have, much endowment up top, not very big boobs or anything like that. But she had a serious one of these, and I was like, oh. And this girl had the same similar thing. I was like, wow, that one's amazing. So yeah, but she did say, I was talking to her about my image for work, and I wear a wig and how I manage my hair and all this kind of stuff. And I actually got the tip of how she cares for hair and what she uses to get that look, and that whole thing. So, oh, excuse me. I'm gonna try it out. I've got all the things. I picked up all this stuff immediately there Saturday, and I think maybe on vacation time when I get time, that I'm gonna try this out and see if my hair will come out the same way as she does. Her hair does, so it's really good. But she just brought on the conversation and said, hey, when you're wearing a wig, I would like to see what this looks like sometime. Or when you do your hair, can you show me? Can you take pictures of blah, 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 blah. And I didn't think to show her my pictures or my YouTube videos where I actually was wearing my wig. So I was like, damn, I should have done that. So I think she did show some interest in me a bit, and there was some chemistry, which was really nice. But it's like, you never can tell. I really think I have a penchant for tall, slender girls, probably about the same build as I am, about the same height. They just give the best hugs. There's a woman at work who's the same thing, and I've got a hug from her. I would date her in a heartbeat if she hadn't worked at the company, and she does work at the company. So I have a policy not to date company co-workers because I need my job, and if there's kind of harassment issue that comes of it, it's not very good. So yeah, I did my walk this week, and I went to the Whole Foods, and I was checking out, and there was this girl that I was talking to the cashier a little bit, but there was this really chatty girl that was over there bagging my stuff, and of course I have this thing called did you find it in Europe as a shopping trolley? It's pretty much like a shopping cart, but it looks like a piece of luggage, and you got two wheels and you tote it behind you. And I get a Go Green refund for bringing my own bag, which technically is what this is. But this girl that was bagging was very nice to pick up conversation based on that, and she was very smart. So we got to talk about that, and why did I bring this thing? And I said, oh, it was because I walk, and I'm a cyclist, and I like to get out in nature. Says, oh yeah, I like to get out in nature too. And said the fireflies are out. I says, boy, are they very prominent this year? I said, I've only seen two, and there's only two from like last weekend. But she lives in Chelmsford, and she started telling me that there's this bike path, or this path you can take. Not a lot of people know about it, and it's a nice place to go and see nature. So very smart, very well educated, very well mannered. Both these women, and both of them are Caucasian. The one at the Whole Foods was small, delicate Caucasian woman with darker hair, but very nice, very polite. It's the type of stuff that you don't usually see in women. So very, very impressed. If I wanted to right then and there ask her on a date sometime, I said, yeah, okay. And this other girl at the Metro PCS, I'm like, it's not my policy to intrude on somebody who is already in a relationship with somebody, but it's the type of thing where you could go and say hi, and maybe Someday maybe they'd be single, but you know, I I'd want to do it. I'd want to do it, but I wouldn't do it. But you know, you get to socialize with people, you get to talk with them, you get to find that even though you get very discouraged, you're not gonna find the right one, blah blah blah. You run into some people like out of the blue, and it's just astonishing. It's like a breath of fresh air, and you feel really good about it. Um, these types of women, I have my gloves, I have all my stuff going on. Of course, I'm very hairy. Maybe I look very strange. But it's not always a very masculine thing for a guy to be having, like, you know, a shopping trolley with a totem behind them because they walked, you know, and that sort of thing. Or it's not a very masculine thing for a guy to be going in and, you know, paying the bill and asking a girl about her hair. So when it comes to social stuff, don't count anything limited. You know, go out there and ask a question. Just be you. You know, I even laughed a few times and covered my mouth. There's just the formality in Japan. It's what women do. Guys don't do it. But if you go out there and be yourself, when you talk to people, you be social, you get to learn to interact with them and learn to not be self-conscious. And by virtue of doing that, sometimes you run into the best people. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to maybe seeing these people again, but whole other avenues, whole other possibilities are opening up as to finding someone. Okay, finding someone as is, you know, and I kind of wonder, I said, yeah, I know what I am, and maybe I've done quite a few blogs look like this, but I'm still this from the inside out. Is it a necessary thing to transition? I don't know. It doesn't solve any problems. Point is, no matter what phase you're in, or whether you're transitioned or not, you can find people. All you gotta do is just be yourself, and everything should fall into place. It's just nice to know, for a change, that there are people that will accept you. That girl at work I'm telling you about, she knows all about me, and I actually thought she was a trans girl. I made that mistake. So I told her quite a few things that were kind of personal. And she opened up to me, for example, and she has a daughter who's a lesbian, and, you know, she has her experience with this. Her brother is also part of the gay community. So she opened up about it, and she's very accepting, and this woman actually, I think by virtue of me being me and talking to her and being open about stuff, she likes me a lot. So she gave me a hug, and she's very sweet, very dear to me. I'm not going to say her name out here, and of course I could, but we've been in touch with Facebook and that kind of stuff. But since she's a company employee, have to be very, very careful about things. It's good to have a friend. And she actually asked me sometime, you know, if we could go out and do something. And I was like, well, you know, that's really, I get to go out with this hot girl, and I'm like, oh my God. And she gave the best hugs, you know. I had to sit down and really think about it for a while. And I eventually had to make a tough decision to call her and say, look, you know, I usually don't go out and do things with company employee people. Maybe if they were a guy, maybe, because it'd just be guys. There wouldn't be any chance of a romantic infatuation. But I think with this girl, I had to put the brakes on and actually say something. So I did. But I still wave hi and hello. I still am nice. I have to be professional, you know, so there's nothing confusing or conflicting there that could cause trouble with my job. And I think that's fine and dandy. But it does make my mind swim and say that, you know, even though I am what I am, there are genetic women out there that will be accepting of me just as much as any other trans person in the community. And I take that to heart. And I'm very thankful of that. So it's not a cruel, cruel world as far as social stuff goes. There is a light in the tunnel. It's just, you have to take that brave step to be you, and everything should follow. So I hope this blog helped out, and I hope that lent a good example. I hope people liked it, and if you like it, thumbs up. So that's Pillow Talk for now, and I'll be back some other time. Take care, guys.